I'm going to go back to using this camera. The other camera, I don't know, it's completely broken. But the thing is, I don't even know if it's the camera that's broken or if it's just this crappy computer. It seems to have quite a slow processor, and it's and when I try and upload the videos, it takes like 4 times longer than it usually does. A few months ago, it used to upload very quickly, and now something that would have taken 2 minutes to upload is taking about 20 minutes to upload, or 15 minutes to upload. So I don't even know if it's the camera that's broken or if it's just the processor that's not working properly, in which case buying a new camera isn't even going to fix it. So but this is the camera that's on the actual computer, so maybe it has a better link or something. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the government, but I do think that I feel like I know what the problem is. Yesterday I saw a video about something that was going on about crime rate in the English, well, crime rates in England, and saying how it's 4 times higher than it usually is. I don't know the statistics, I don't know the facts, I don't know what's true, I don't even know what's real or not now, because there's some things that could be AI. How do I know that this isn't just AI? But what I did notice is that everyone in the room looked like a foreigner. None of them looked like white British people. They all looked like, I don't know, people from India or Bangladesh or Pakistan or maybe Africa. I mean, maybe many of them were born and raised in England, but I think England has allowed a lot of of immigration into the country, and because of that, it's now impossible to tell who's a real England-born person and who's not. But I don't know if we're spending all our tax money going to places like India and all over there, because I don't know what I've heard rumors that a huge amount of tax money is going to other countries, and I think that's just incredibly wrong, considering so many people are coming into this country working just to send money back home. So they're not spending money in the English economy. Shops and restaurants are falling apart now. I could say that maybe they're falling apart because people are going online and just shopping online, or maybe they're not, because everyone who's working and earning money is actually sending money back to their home country. So England is becoming like a sort of bread feeder for the rest of the world. I mean, I know that there might be these in all parts of Europe and America. There might be people saying this all over the world. So I don't know what the truth is or not. But if the government is majority people from all around the world, or maybe people who are born here but whose families currently live in different parts of the world, then they're going to favor migrants. They're going to favor giving money to just anyone from any part of the world. And I've heard loads of people say that why should you be not allowed to live in a country because you weren't born in that country? And I've heard loads of people believe that this is genuinely the truth, and it's not. The Matrix chose you to be born in that country because it recognized you as being similar to people in that country. Now, if people in your country are dangerous, then I'm sorry, but there's a part of this system that has recognized you as being dangerous. And I know that South Africa is a bad place, so Elon Musk was born there, so technically, or I think he was born there. I might have been born in Canada and then lived there. I don't actually, I've forgotten what the details are, but I know that there are a lot of dangerous people in South Africa. But I also know that I kind of want a lot of dangerous people, because I feel like there's a huge problem. Overpopulation is the problem, and the only way to get rid of overpopulation is to ignore all the people that say there is no overpopulation problem, and just do what needs to be done, which is to lower the population. There's a spirit that lies inside. My spirit, the spirit of God, lies inside millions of people and can do so much. But a lot of people are not connecting to this spirit. A lot of people do not want to hear this spirit, do not want to have this spirit. And you know what? I don't even want them to have this spirit. Why? Because I know that the spirit that I have, that is helping to create a flowing timeline, a good society of people. I know that there's only so many people that it can reach out to. It's like a fish can have loads and loads of babies. A seahorse can have loads and loads of babies, but she can't have 8 billion babies. There's a limit to how many kids can have this spirit, and if if you have the spirit and you do end up dying, it's fine, because that spirit will keep you alive. It'll keep you being reincarnated again and again and again. So who goes and who stays, it's irrelevant, because the ones that have this spirit, the ones that have this connection, they're the ones that are going to find themselves still alive at the end of the timeline. And whether they've died 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, I don't know what the answer is, but I know that they'll be safe. And part of the Christian teaching is to believe this. If you have Jesus, then you have the truth, and you will be fine. And I think that there is truth to this. They just got the name wrong, and Jesus is not the truth. Jesus is the lie that gets people into one choosing death. It gets people into choosing death. Choice is always best. If people go by choice, then that's always the better option, because then you don't have to feel guilty over getting rid of them. But there are so many people in this world, and this world is such an ugly, horrible place. And even if you have all the nice people living in one area, if the bad people realize that this is a nice area, then they're going to do what, I think that's what happened in England. England used to be a really nice place 20 years ago, and a lot of people recognize this, and then therefore a lot of people came here, and more and more people came here, and we weren't getting rid of them. We were, I don't know, whoever's in government. I mean, if the people in the government are very multicultural from all over the world, and all over, and have all sorts of bloodlines that come from different families, they'd probably be like, oh, my family are from India. Indians are exactly the same, and maybe they are, but maybe they do just trash the place. And if India is a very trashy place because of this junk everywhere and no one's tidying it up, if a lot of these people come over here, then England's going to start looking, there's chewing gum everywhere. England used to be a really pretty place, and in case there are some places that are pretty and stuff, and it's actually it's quite easy to clean up something. If you just got like 10 people to just walk down the high street and getting rid of every piece of chewing gum, it'd probably take you about a day to do that. And you could probably do that to every street, and it, every high street in to do with that, and it probably wouldn't take you very long to do it. But if you've got a huge number of people that are just going to put the gum back on the floor because they don't give a shit, if you're cleaning up after people that are constantly or deliberately trying to sabotage the world because they just don't care, then no matter how many cleaners you have, you'll always have the problem, because you'll have the problem people. And if you're just going to be like, oh, they're the same and they don't deserve to die for stupid things. Okay, yeah, the people don't deserve to die for stupid things, but if they're constantly just making the world a worse place, you need to recognize that they need to go back to the country that they were tipping, and continue tipping the tipped up country, because other people are tipping it up, so it's already tipped up, so you can go and tip it up some more. Just don't tip up the nice places. And I am angry at loads of things. I'm angry at how I obviously need funding and I can't get it. And I keep seeing, actually, my teeth are annoying. I was watching back on that video and I was just realizing how awful my teeth were. And I spent most of my life not being able to afford braces, because I see how much they are. £6,000. I'm not paying £6,000 just to get some sort of brace. I mean, I have a retainer thing. I did manage to get a retainer when I was younger. But I'm pretty sure it's out of date, and I don't know if it's actually doing anything to my teeth, and it's probably, my teeth seem to be getting more and more wonky, but I just keep getting this sort of, it's £6,000 to fix it, and I don't have £6,000. And I've seen some recently that you can actually fit it for, I think it's £60 a month, and you get a different retainer each month. Because technically it's just a bit of plastic. It's a little bit of plastic. They create some sort of jaw, which probably takes about half an hour to create the jaw, and then you put make a bit of plastic cast on it, give it to you for a month, and then they reshape the tooth so that it's more correct. And I don't know really what the procedure is, but I would do it. But I feel like I've been brainwashed all my life to believe that I can't afford retainers, and therefore even if I can afford retainers, I can't because I don't want to work. Do I want to see a client a month just so I can fix my teeth? I don't even know why I'd be fixing my teeth, because I feel like I'd be fixing my teeth to impress you guys more, and I don't feel like I want to impress you guys. You guys give me a horrible shit life, and you can go off and have your £200,000 surgeries to correct that little thing that's bothering you, whereas I've got like really bad teeth, and it is bothering me, but I can't afford to correct real problems. So I just I feel like I'm proud to have shitty teeth, because it's just like, well, that's your fault for not helping me, that's your fault for not giving me a job, that's for your fault for not giving me money. And yeah, if I'm very generous, it's because no one was generous towards me. No one gave me anything other than give me money if I give you sexual favors or something. Like I know that I don't offer sexual favors, but the whole massage is a sensual thing and stuff, and that's the only money that I've ever made, and I didn't want to do that job, and I've been forced into doing it, and the government have never helped me. I would love to ask the government, how did you help me? How did anything you do helped me? Okay, that the world was quite a nice place before I was born. I mean, not really. It was very sexist and stuff. So, okay, you've brought in equality between males and females. So you've done one thing right, but then you're allowing all these immigrants to come in, not realizing how unsafe women feel being in a country surrounded by just huge amounts of migrant men who are all taking out money and then sending it back home, so that the economy is falling apart. And I don't know. I'm just. I would love to ask the government, so how do you help me? You've made me poor all my life. You've made me homeless. Whilst I had to work 4,000 hours to make £200,000 so I can buy a property. Okay, my mum gave me 52,000, so she helped me buy it. If I would have bought in 2013, this place was actually about 40,000. So I would have, with the 20,000 inheritance that I got 20,000 inheritance. So with the 20,000 inheritance and the 50,000 that I'd saved up, I could have moved to Birmingham in 2013 and bought this property. And instead, I waited in London for 3 years, only to find that this property was no longer about, a 2-bedroom house in Birmingham was no longer 80,000. It was now 105,000. So my mum had to help me. I'd spent the £20,000 on rent, and now had back down to 50,000, and the house market was gone up, and my sister had made £200,000 for doing absolutely nothing. And it's just weird to think that she got the dream of living in a nice 2-bedroom, a small 2-bedroom flat. And she made £200,000 just by living in a nice small two-bedroom flat. So she made £200,000, and I've made £200,000. But what did I have to do to make that £200,000? I had to do 4,000 hours of clients, and okay, they're not all bad, and maybe I like some of them. Maybe I generally like the conversations that I had. So I know they're not all bad, and I know I shouldn't say that they're all the same, because that's not how it is. But there's a lot of grooming going on throughout a lot of those sessions, and I've had to, constantly waiting for people and being so desperate. When I was in London, I was seeing a lot more people, because I knew that I had to see 1 or 2 clients a day just to pay for the rent, and I still only managed to save up about I think I saved £1,000 that whole year, and I obviously was making more than one a day, but yeah, there's sometimes where I'd be waiting up till 2 o'clock in the morning to see a client, only to find that they don't show up. That happened quite a lot. People not showing up, or people saying that they're going to come, you having to cancel other people, only to find that they didn't actually come, and you try and get the other people, and it's too late, they've gone. That you need money, and then you've got people wasting your time, and it's not just the hassle of doing the session, it's the hassle of booking it and feeling like you need them to come because you need the money, and then to go through a whole year of that, only to find that I only have £1,000 more in my account, but to find that the housing market has gone up by 50,000. I don't owe you a penny of tax money, because you spent nothing, you did nothing to help me. You've taken tax money off lots and lots of people, and then you've gone and helped the bankers get richer. That's what you've done. I hate the government, and who the fuck is doing that? Who the fuck did that? And I hate the world. I don't care if you did that. I mean, if the ones that the bankers are actually the nicer people, or the better people, or the more evolved people, then I'm glad that you've done this. And I don't know. I'm angry at everything. I'm angry at how awful my life is. I'm angry at how there's so many people here, and yet I don't seem to be able to afford everything that something else. There's how many houses are there in England, and yet I can't afford any of them unless Birmingham's one of the cheapest places in the whole of England. So it's really annoying to live in a country where you know that everyone else seems to be able to afford something that you can't afford. And what is it? A fucking house. And you never helped me. And just to think that I would love to ask the UK government, what the fuck did you do to my life to make it better? I'm falling into more and more depression, and having to do this job is just making me more depressed. And I want the fucking £6,000 that you're giving my sister because she's autistic. Why is she getting £6,000 for being autistic when I get nothing? She got to live in a nice 2-bedroom flat for 2 years just to make £200,000 whilst I became poorer because I didn't have that money and I spent the 20,000 inheritance on rent. So I was poorer, she was richer, and you know what? She's the one who's getting the £6,000 a year of benefits. Why? Why are you giving rich people who have had luxuries all their life, people who have never had to work a day, why are they getting £6,000 a year, and yet someone who's done £4,000 of fucking sexual services because that's the only thing that this world fucking wants from me, the only thing that anything that people value me for is fucking sex, because they're fucking mentally ill. This world is full of mentally ill people and you're not fucking killing them. Why?